Hello and welcome to TVB News. I'm Melissa Hekalea. U.S. President Donald Trump has banned Harvard University from admitting international students. Hong Kong lawmaker Michael Tian, who is a Harvard alumni, says local students shouldn't panic just yet. Mimo Singhai reports.
The Trump administration has issued a ban on Harvard from enrolling international students. The Ivy League university is provided with a 72-hour window to submit information requested by U.S. Homeland Security if they wish to regain its privilege of enrolling foreign students. As one of the world's most prestigious universities, Harvard admitted 24,596 students this academic year, with 5,627 being international pupils. Among them, 57 are from Hong Kong. In the past, the average number of Hong Kong students admitted by Harvard is about 40. Lawmaker Michael Tian, who is a Harvard alumni, says students should not be too concerned for now because of Trump's history of changing his mind.
I would advise them just to stay put. He's waiting to see how Harvard will respond, right? Harvard stood firm when he first threatened to pull the federal funding. So this is his next step. So basically, he's playing a poker game. He's always been a poker player.
Some are worried that the Trump administration may target other Ivy League schools. Tian says such a scenario may not play out.
I think it depends from university to university how they deal with the anti-Semitism kind of freedom of speech on campus. I think he would deal with it accordingly. I don't think he's going to go after everyone.
On Friday, the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology said they are prepared to welcome Harvard students to join the institution. In Beijing, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said China opposes the politicization of educational cooperation and will firmly protect the legitimate rights and interests of Chinese students and scholars overseas. Harvard currently has more than 1,200 students from the mainland. Mums 9, TVB News.
Scholars in the U.S. have described Donald Trump's college crackdown as a serious blow to academic freedom, as well as American education as a brand. The European Union is reportedly mulling recruitment campaigns to lure talent fleeing from Trump's spending cuts, with €500 million of incentives. Danny Cho reports.
Former president of the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, Professor Tony Chan, used to teach at the University of California. He pointed out that many scholars in America hold the view that the Trump administration's actions are undermining academic freedom. He said that academic independence is at the very heart of universities' role, and political interference would not only threaten their independence, but also alter their complexion. Chan, who studied in the United States in the 1970s, recalled the extent of freedom and inclusiveness at the time, but noted this land no longer welcomes foreign students, especially Chinese. The brand of American education, which has long been one of its most potent soft powers, has deteriorated following recent upheavals, and it would take a long time to restore, Chan said. The Trump administration has significantly slashed research funds in their latest overhaul of U.S. higher education, targeting anti-Semitism on campus. Chan pointed out the move has distressed many U.S. researchers and may lead to scientist refugees. Meanwhile, Joanne Yu, research financial manager of Stanford University's Department of Statistics, said that universities' administration fees would be the hardest hit. She expects massive funding cuts ranging from office supplies to IT support, potentially increasing security lapses that expose the computer system to cyber attacks. She added many colleges are unable to operate as normal at present. Danny Zhou, TVB News.
In the U.S., House Republicans stayed up all night Thursday to pass their multi-trillion-dollar tax breaks package, with Speaker Mike Johnson defying the skeptics and unifying his ranks to muscle President Donald Trump's priority bill to approval.
On this vote, the yeas are 215, the nays are 214, with one answering present. The bill is passed.
With last-minute concessions and stark warnings from Trump, the Republican holdouts largely dropped their opposition to salvage the one big, beautiful bill that's central to the party's agenda. Republicans insisted their sprawling 1,000-page-plus package was what voters sent them to Congress and Trump to the White House to accomplish. They believe it will be rocket fuel for the uneasy U.S. economy. Back locally, a tunnel staff member was killed in a traffic accident in Qingyi. Shortly after midnight last night, a private car driven by a 40-year-old man was traveling along Qingsha Highway towards Kowloon. When approaching the entrance of Nam Wan Tunnel, the private car reportedly knocked down a 61-year-old male tunnel staff member. The man sustained serious leg injuries and was rushed to Princess Margaret Hospital unconscious. He was certified dead at 2:17 a.m. The driver was arrested on suspicion of dangerous driving causing death and is being detained for inquiries. MTR's Chunguano line was back to normal this morning following hours of suspension during the evening peak hours yesterday. The first train on the Chunguano line started at around 6 a.m. this morning. There were trains every 2 or 3 minutes during the morning rush hour. The MTR said yesterday's incident was the result of a circuit breaker trip and a signal system glitch. Mr. Chung Nin-san, a railway expert, said the MTR should replace its signal system. The Center for Health Protection said there are early signs that the rate of increase in COVID-19 infections in Hong Kong has begun to slow down. But the CHP says it's expected to remain at a relatively high level in the near future. CHP said the number of COVID-19 cases have increased since April, more than half a year after the last increase in July and August of last year. The authorities said they found out that the increase in the viral load of the virus from observing sewage. And the test positivity rate of respiratory samples slowed down as of last week when compared to last year. Residents are urged to maintain stringent hygiene. Welcome back. A movie set exhibition for the acclaimed martial arts film Twilight of the Warriors Walled In will open to the public tomorrow. Located at the original site of the Kowloon Walled City, the exhibition showcases replica sets from the movie, allowing tourists to travel back to the old days of Hong Kong. Samantha Lee gives us a preview.
Fishball Factory, the set where an illegal migrant from the mainland in the film took his first job when he first came to Hong Kong. The fishballs and mashed fish on display are life-sized replicas. Kowloon Walled City was also known to be home to many unlicensed dental clinics. A plastic molding workshop is also featured in the exhibition. Plastic molding used to be a common manufacturing industry in Hong Kong in the last century. These movie sets have been restored based on the award-winning martial film Twilight of the Warriors, Walled In, which was screened in many international film festivals. 3 of the film's actors came to the opening ceremony. Philip Ng, who played a villain in the movie, said the exhibition brought back memories of shooting the film. Warner Chuk, Deputy Chief Secretary for Administration, noted the film had great success both locally and internationally, and he believed the exhibition would be able to draw more visitors to Kowloon City. Some foreign visitors were eager to pay a visit to the exhibition and explore more of the local community nearby.
I think learning about the history and the culture is one of the most important things about traveling. I think that's the biggest incentive to go into a new place. I think it's very cool because right outside this, it seems like a very modern city. You see all the new technology, and then you come in here and you feel like you're back in like an old time.
The exhibition will be free and will run for 3 years. It is one of the tourist hotspot projects unveiled by the government this week. The exhibition had earlier been held at the airport and the shopping mall in Kai Tak, but this time it is bigger in size and has more replica sets.
Some traditional local crafts are included in this exhibition, such as this hand-painted ceremonial flower board. Some of the exhibition's floor tiles have been repurposed from old buildings, paying tribute to the iconic old Hong Kong style. Samantha Lee, TVB News.
In the U.S., a private jet carrying a music talent agent and 5 others hit a power line in foggy weather and crashed into a San Diego neighborhood. Tracy Furness has more.
This was all that was left of the home a private jet crashed into early Thursday morning. Other homes and vehicles were also damaged in this U.S. Navy-owned military neighborhood. Witnesses described the scene just after the crash.
Yeah, at about 3:47, I heard a loud crash. Didn't really think anything of it, but thought it was odd. And my wife said, "Hey, I think a plane crashed." And so we went outside and we looked the block over and we seen a fire and smoke.
I woke up to a loud explosion. My wife was screaming, and she's like, "There's a fire." I was trying to comprehend what happened. I thought maybe a gas leak or something happened. And then I woke up and I could feel the heat all around me. And I walked to the hall towards the front of my house, and all I could see was fire, and the roof of the house was torn off.
You could see the night sky from our living room.
Authorities say the plane was on a flight path for landing at the time of the crash.
It struck power lines about 2 miles southeast of the airport. It then collided with a house.
42-year-old music executive Dave Shapiro, known in the heavy metal and hard rock scene, was among the dead, along with 2 of his employees. Shapiro had a pilot's license and was listed as the owner of the plane that crashed. Tracy Furness, TVB News.
During their recent meeting at the White House, U.S. President Donald Trump confronted the leader of South Africa with conspiracy theories on alleged white genocide in South Africa. But the authenticity of the facts presented by Trump has been challenged. Danny Cho has details.
During an Oval Office meeting with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, Donald Trump unexpectedly presented a video and a stack of printed news articles as proof of violence against the white minority in South Africa. Trump believed the footage supported his claims that the country's black-led government was turning a blind eye to so-called white genocide.
Death of people. Death. 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 Horrible death. Look, here's burial sites all over the place. These are all white farmers that are being buried.
But Reuters' fact-check team subsequently verified that the screenshot was pulled from a video filmed by its journalist in Congo, not South Africa, on February the 3rd. The agency said the footage actually showed humanitarian workers lifting body bags following an M23 rebel assault on the Congolese city of Goma. Another video that the White House played showed a line of white crosses alongside a highway, which Trump claimed to be gravesites of over 1,000 of white farmers who were killed. Yet, BBC reported the video was from a protest against the murder of 2 white farmers in 2020. Organisers of the event said the crosses do not mark graves, but were erected as a temporary memorial and have since been taken down. Ramaphosa diplomatically rejected Trump's assertions and said his government and his party are completely opposed to the alleged behaviour. He said if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, these 3 white officials would not be with him, including his Minister of Agriculture. The South African president did acknowledge violent crime has become a serious issue in their country, while pointing out the majority of victims were black. He also rejected the notion that white South Africans are fleeing because of racist policies. The clash came after the US government cut all assistance to South Africa and granted asylum to some 60 Afrikaners, deeming them victims of racial discrimination. In recent months, Trump has accused the Ramaphosa administration of seizing land from white farmers and pursuing an anti-American foreign policy. Danny Joe, TVB News.
Israeli tanks and drones attacked the Al-Auda hospital in northern Gaza overnight, igniting fires and causing extensive damage. UN agencies say Israeli military restrictions and the breakdown of law and order in Gaza make it difficult to retrieve and distribute aid. Nasvi Karim has more.
2-year-old Maya Al-Arja is malnourished. Her mother, Asma, tries to make her daughter as comfortable as possible in Khan Yusuf's Nasser hospital in southern Gaza. She weighs 7 kilograms and suffers from severe malnutrition. She has celiac disease and chronic diarrhea, her mother said. On another bed lies Yusuf al-Najjar, 5 months old, also malnourished, suffering from infections at a facility that lacks baby formula and other essentials. Since I gave birth, I keep spending time in the hospital. I leave for a few days only to return, said his mother Najia. They are among 9,000 children across Gaza who have been treated for malnutrition this year, according to the UN's Children's Agency. Dr. Ahmed Al-Farah, head of pediatrics, said they are facing a disaster, with most people living off food scraps. Food security experts say tens of thousands of similar cases are expected in the coming year, even as Israel says it is allowing a limited number of humanitarian aid trucks into Gaza after a 12-week blockade. An international authority on hunger crises says that some 71,000 cases of malnourished children may emerge over the next 10 months. In addition, nearly 17,000 pregnant and breastfeeding women will need treatment for acute malnutrition. UN agencies say the 100 or so trucks that come are woefully insufficient compared to the 600 entering daily during the recent ceasefire. Meanwhile, Israel's bombing of Gaza continues as its military looks to expand its offensive despite international pressure. 10 people were killed in central Deir al-Balah after an Israeli airstrike on a home. Israel's military push comes amid an unprecedented pushback from Britain and France. Nazri Karim, TVB News.
That's the news. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.